My girlfriend Brooke and I have been together for 2 years and 3 months. We moved in together last year, split rent on a decent one-bedroom in Brooklyn. Things were good, or so I thought. Some background. I'm a software engineer, pretty quiet guy. I like routine, I'm reliable, I show up when I say I will. Brooke works in PR and she's more outgoing than me. When we first got together, she said she loved how steady I was compared to her ex Tyler, who apparently was this unpredictable guy who treated her like garbage. I was happy to be the opposite of that. But over the past few months, Brooke started making these comments. Like when I'd suggest staying in to cook dinner, she'd sigh and say Tyler would have had us out at some new rooftop place by now. Or when I'd buy practical gifts, she'd mention how Tyler knew how to surprise a woman. I tried to brush it off as her just talking, but it was getting under my skin. Last Saturday was her 26th birthday. She wanted to celebrate at this trendy rooftop bar in Manhattan, expensive place, but I figured it was her birthday. About 15 people showed up, her work friends, some college friends, my buddy Josh and his girlfriend Rachel. Everything was fine until around 10 p.m. We're all sitting at this long table, drinks flowing, everyone laughing. Brooke had been drinking since we got there at 7, not sloppy drunk but definitely looser than usual. Then someone brought up relationships. I think Rachel was talking about how Josh surprised her with concert tickets. And Brooke just let loose. God, I wish Justin would do something spontaneous like that, she said, loud enough for the whole table to hear. Tyler used to surprise me all the time. That man knew how to keep things interesting. I felt everyone's eyes on us. Josh shot me this look like yikes. But I just took a sip of my beer and didn't say anything. Brooke kept going. I mean, Tyler had his problems, but at least he was a real man, you know. He never said no to anything. If I wanted to go to Vegas at midnight, we'd be on a plane. If I wanted to try that new place in Soho, we'd be there before I finished talking. Rachel tried to change the subject, but Brooke was on a roll now. Justin's sweet and all, but sometimes I feel like I'm dating my accountant, she laughed. A few people chuckled nervously. Tyler would tell me to pack a bag and we'd end up in Montreal or something. This one here plans our grocery trips on a spreadsheet. I actually do meal prep on Sundays, but hearing it said like that in front of everyone, something just clicked off inside me. Tyler never said no to me, she continued, her words looping like she'd lost her grip on reality, and now she was looking right at me with this challenging expression. Not once. If I wanted something, he made it happen. That's what a real man does. The table got quiet. Josh was looking at his phone. Rachel was studying her drink. Brooke's work friend Amanda was texting someone, probably updating her group chat about the drama. I finished my beer, put it down quietly, and stood up. "Where are you going?" Brooke asked. "Home," I said. "Justin, come on, don't be like that. I'm just talking." I looked at her for a second. She had this expression like she was waiting for me to argue, to defend myself, to play whatever game this was. Instead, I pulled out my wallet, put down enough cash to cover my drinks plus tip, and walked away. She called after me, but I didn't turn around. I took the subway back to Brooklyn and started packing. Didn't answer my phone when it started ringing. Didn't read the texts. Just packed my stuff methodically, clothes, books, computer, the few pieces of furniture that were mine. Sunday morning, I called my coworker Madison. We've been friends for about a year. She's got this spare room in her place in Park Slope that she's been trying to rent out. I asked if I could crash there for a few weeks while I figured things out. She said yes without asking questions, which I appreciated. When Brooke got home Sunday around noon, probably hungover, I was loading the last of my stuff into a rental van. She started crying, saying she was drunk and didn't mean it, that she was just showing off for her friends. I told her I'd Venmo her my half of next month's rent and that my name would be off the lease by the end of the week. "Justin, please, can we just talk about this?" I said there wasn't anything to talk about. She told everyone at that table who I was to her. Now she knew who she was to me. That was 8 days ago. I've been staying at Madison's, sleeping on her futon, which is honestly more comfortable than it sounds. She makes good coffee and doesn't try to therapize me, which is perfect. My phone has been buzzing constantly. Brooke, Josh, Rachel, even some of Brooke's friends trying to get me to hear her out. I haven't responded to any of them. Here's the thing, I'm not angry. I'm not hurt in the way I expected to be. I'm just done. Like when you finally decide to cancel a subscription service you don't use anymore. There's no emotion to it, just a decision. But everyone around me says I'm being too harsh. So I need an outside perspective. What do you think, Reddit? Edit. A lot of people are asking about Tyler. From what I gathered over 2 years, he was apparently this exciting guy who was also emotionally unavailable, cheated on her, and left her crying more often than not. But he took her to expensive places and made grand gestures, so somehow that made him more of a man than me. Make it make sense. Update 1: It's been 3 weeks since I left Brooke, and things have gotten intense. First week was mostly what I expected. Lots of calls and texts. She tried different approaches, angry messages about how I abandoned her, then sad ones about how sorry she was, then rational ones explaining she was just drunk and showing off. I read them but never responded. Madison's been great about the whole situation. She was there when Brooke showed up at her apartment building Tuesday morning 2 weeks ago. Madison texted me at work. "Your ex is in the lobby. Want me to tell her you're not here?" I told her to let the building manager handle it. Apparently Brooke stood in that lobby for 2 hours before giving up, but here's where it gets weird. Last week, Brooke started getting creative. She began following Madison on Instagram. Then she liked every single photo going back 6 months. Then she started commenting on them. Innocent stuff at first. Cute dog. On a picture of Madison's neighbor's golden retriever. Love this coffee shop. On a picture from some cafe in Park Slope. Madison showed me Thursday night. Is this normal ex behavior? Because it's kind of creepy. It wasn't just Instagram. Brooke somehow got Madison's LinkedIn and endorsed her for graphic design and creative strategy. Madison doesn't even have creative strategy listed as a skill. Friday evening, I was coming back from grocery shopping when I saw a familiar car parked across from Madison's building. Brooke's white Honda. She wasn't in it. I texted Madison, "Don't answer the door tonight." Sure enough, around 8 p.m. doorbell rang. Madison and I were watching Netflix and we just looked at each other. The ringing kept going, not like someone pressing it once or twice, but this persistent, rhythmic pressing. Every few seconds for about 10 minutes. Then my phone started buzzing, different number than usual. "I know you're up there, Justin. I can see the lights on. Just 5 minutes, please. I miss you so much." Then another text. "I threw Tyler's number away. I deleted all our photos. You're the one I want." Then, "I'm not leaving until you talk to me." Madison was getting annoyed. "Want me to call the cops?" I said no, let's just wait her out. We turned the TV volume down and waited. Around 10:30 the text stopped and the car was gone when I checked. But the next morning she was back. This time she'd brought coffee and a box from our favorite bakery. She left them by Madison's door with a note. "I know you still drink your coffee black. I got those almond croissants you like. Please just talk to me. B." Madison found them when she went to walk her neighbor's dog. "Should I throw these away?" "Do whatever you want with them." She gave the coffee to her neighbor and ate one of the croissants. "Spite tastes pretty good," she said, which actually made me laugh for the first time in weeks. Sunday, Josh called, not texted, actually called. "Dude, you need to talk to Brooke. She's losing it." "Not my problem anymore, Josh." She came to our place yesterday crying for like 3 hours. "Rachel's fed up. She thinks you're being cruel." "I'm being cruel? Did Rachel forget what happened at that party?" "Look, Brooke admits she messed up. She was drunk and stupid and she's sorry. But this silent treatment thing is driving her insane." "Good. Jesus, Justin, when did you become so cold?" I told Josh that I became cold the moment my ex-girlfriend decided to humiliate me in front of 15 people and compare me to her toxic ex. I said if Rachel had a problem with how I was handling things, maybe she should have had a problem with Brooke's behavior that night. Josh got quiet. "She did say something to Brooke after you left." "What?" "She told her she was way out of line and that if I ever talked about her like that in public, she'd dump me on the spot. But she still came around eventually, so why won't you at least hear Brooke out?" I explained to Josh that there was nothing to hear out. Brooke told an entire table of people that I wasn't man enough for her, and that her ex was better than me in every way that mattered to her. What exactly was she going to say now that would change that? She was drunk, man. Drunk words, sober thoughts, Josh sighed. The conversation ended there. Tuesday, I was leaving Madison's building around 7 a.m. to catch the subway to work. Brooke was sitting on the steps. She looked rough, like she hadn't been sleeping much. Still pretty, but that put-together look she usually had was gone. "Please don't run away," she said when she saw me. "Just 5 minutes." I stopped but didn't sit down. "What do you want, Brooke?" "I want to apologize, really apologize, not just saying sorry. I was drunk and I was showing off and I said horrible things that I didn't mean." "You meant them." "No, I didn't. I love you. I love how stable you are, how I can count on you. Tyler was a disaster, Justin. He cheated on me, he'd disappear for days, he made me feel crazy. You make me feel safe. You had a funny way of showing it." She started crying. I know I messed up, but people say stupid things when they're drunk. You know I didn't mean it." I looked at her for a moment. She was waiting for me to soften, to tell her it was okay, that we could work through it. "Brooke, if you really loved how stable and reliable I am, you wouldn't have spent 2 years making me feel bad about it. You wouldn't have spent months comparing me to Tyler, and you definitely wouldn't have humiliated me in front of our friends." "It wasn't humiliation, it was you telling everyone at that table that I'm not good enough for you. That Tyler was more of a man than I am. That I'm basically your boring safety net." "That's not how I meant it. It's how you said it." She grabbed my arm. "Please, Justin, I'll do anything. I'll go to therapy. I'll never mention Tyler again. I deleted his number. I deleted all our photos. You're the one I want." I gently moved her hand off my arm. "I believe that you want me now, but you didn't want me 3 weeks ago. You wanted Tyler but settled for me. And the moment you had an audience, you made sure everyone knew it." I started walking toward the subway. "So that's it," she called after me. 2 years means nothing to you." I turned around. 2 years meant everything to me. That's why it hurt so much to find out they meant nothing to you. That was Tuesday. It's Friday now and my phone has been quiet since then. Madison says Brooke hasn't been back to the building. Josh texted yesterday. "She's telling people you won't even let her apologize. Making you sound like the bad guy." I didn't respond to that either. Honestly, I'm sleeping better than I have in months. Madison's place is peaceful. We watch movies, cook dinner together sometimes, talk about work. No drama, no walking on eggshells, no wondering when the next comparison to Tyler is coming. I think I'm starting to understand that the relationship ended months ago. I just didn't want to admit it. Edit, for everyone asking, no, nothing romantic is happening with Madison. She's been a good friend during a difficult time, that's it. I'm not ready for anything like that anyway. A lot of people are sharing stories about being the safe choice after someone's toxic ex. It's validating to know this is a pattern and not just my specific situation. Update 2: It's been 2 months since I left Brooke, and I thought the worst was behind me. Then last weekend happened. Our mutual friends Sam and Alina got engaged, and they threw a party at this venue in Boston. Alina's family is from there, so they wanted to celebrate with both sides. I debated going since I knew Brooke would be there, but Sam's been a good friend for years, and I wasn't going to let her ruin another social event for me. Madison offered to come as my +1 for moral support, but I told her this was something I needed to handle alone. She made me promise to text her updates and gave me an out. If things got weird, I could call her and she'd fake an emergency. The party was at this nice restaurant with a private room. About 40 people, open bar, good food. I got there early, congratulated Sam and Alina, and positioned myself near some college friends I hadn't seen in a while, safe territory, people who weren't part of the Brooke drama. Brooke arrived an hour later with her sister Katie. She looked good, new haircut, this blue dress I'd never seen before. She spotted me immediately but didn't come over right away. Smart move, honestly. Let the evening settle first. I watched her work the room. She was being extra charming, laughing a little too loud at people's jokes, complimenting everyone. Classic Brooke in social situations, but turned up to 11. She was performing. Around 9 p.m., I was talking to my friend Dave about his new job when I felt someone touch my arm. "Justin, could I talk to you for a minute?" Brooke was standing there with this tentative smile. Dave immediately excused himself. Everyone knows the situation by now. "Sure," I said. "What's up?" She seemed surprised that I agreed so easily. "Could we step outside? It's kind of loud in here." The restaurant had this small outdoor seating area that was closed for the season, but the door was unlocked. We went out there and suddenly it was just us and the sound of Boston traffic. "You look good," she said. "Thanks. I've been wanting to talk to you for weeks. I kept hoping we'd run into each other somewhere, but I've been avoiding places where I might see you." She laughed nervously. "Right, yeah, that makes sense." We stood there for a moment. She was waiting for me to ask how she was, to make small talk, to give her an opening. I didn't. "Look," she finally said, "I know I messed up. Really, really messed up. What I said at my birthday party was inexcusable. Okay. I was drunk and I was trying to impress my work friends and I said horrible things about you that weren't true. If you say so. They weren't true, Justin. Tyler was a nightmare. He cheated on me constantly. He was emotionally abusive. He made me feel worthless. You're nothing like him, and that's a good thing." I nodded. "Is there something specific you wanted to say?" She was getting frustrated with my non-responses. "I want you back. I want us to try again. I've been going to therapy. I've been working on myself. I understand now that I was sabotaging us because I was scared of how good we were together." "What does your therapist say about publicly humiliating your partner?" "She says I was pushing you away because I was afraid of being vulnerable, that I was testing you to see if you'd fight for me." "And how'd that test work out?" "Not the way I expected." I looked at her for a long moment. "Brooke, I need you to understand something. I didn't leave because you hurt my feelings. I left because you showed me who you really are." "That wasn't who I really am." "It was exactly who you are. For months, you'd been telling me I wasn't exciting enough, wasn't spontaneous enough, wasn't man enough compared to Tyler. That party was just you finally saying it in front of witnesses. I was comparing us to an unhealthy relationship. You were comparing me to him and finding me lacking, every time. You made it clear that I was your consolation prize." Her eyes were getting watery. "That's not true. Brooke, you told a table full of people that Tyler never said no to you and that real men don't say no. You said I was like dating your accountant. You spent 2 years making me feel like I needed to be someone else to be worthy of you. I'm sorry, I know you're sorry, I believe you. But sorry doesn't change the fact that when you had a few drinks in an audience, your real feelings came out. And your real feelings were that I'm boring and Tyler was better." She was crying now. "Please, Justin, I love you, I've changed." "Maybe you have, but I've changed too. I spent 2 months learning what it feels like to not have someone constantly make me feel inadequate. I've remembered what it's like to not walk on eggshells around my partner." "So you're just done, just like that, just like that. What about everything we built together? What about our plans?" I thought about this question because she wasn't wrong. We had talked about moving to a bigger place, maybe getting a dog, long-term stuff. "Those were my plans that you went along with because I was safe and reliable, but you never actually wanted that life with me. You wanted Tyler's excitement with my stability. You wanted someone who was Tyler but treated you better. That's not, Brooke, if you had gotten Tyler to commit to you, would you have chosen me?" She opened her mouth to answer quickly, then stopped. That pause told me everything. "See, you're not sorry you hurt me, you're sorry I left. There's a difference." She wiped her eyes. "So that's it, you won't even try." "I am trying. I'm trying to build a life with someone who actually wants to be with me, not someone who settles for me." "I never settled for you. You literally told everyone at that party that you settled for me." She didn't have an answer for that. We went back inside. She disappeared into the bathroom, probably to fix her makeup. I found Sam and Alina, congratulated them again, and made my exit. Told them it was a great party, but I had an early day tomorrow. On the train back to New York, I texted Madison. "Survived the confrontation, heading home." She texted back, "Proud of you. Want to debrief over ice cream when you get back." And honestly, that simple offer, no drama, no conditions, just someone wanting to make sure I was okay, felt better than any grand gesture Tyler ever made for Brooke. Josh texted me yesterday. Heard you and Brooke talked at the party. She seems really upset. I didn't respond. I'm done managing Brooke's emotions. Edit. People are asking if Brooke has stopped contacting me since Boston. Yeah, she has. I think she finally got the message that this isn't some game where she can charm her way back in. Final update: it's been 4 months since I left Brooke, and people keep asking for an update, so here we are. Short version: I'm doing well. Really well. Longer version: I signed a lease on my own place in Park Slope last month. 1 bedroom, nice natural light, walking distance to the good coffee shop Madison introduced me to. It's the first time I've lived alone since college, and I forgot how much I enjoy my own space. The Brooke situation has completely died down. No more surprise visits, no more Instagram stalking of my friends, no more emotional texts. Josh told me a few weeks ago that she's dating someone new, some guy from her yoga class. Good for her, honestly. Hope she treats him better than she treated me. I ran into her once about 3 weeks ago at the grocery store in Brooklyn. She was in the produce section when I came around the corner with my cart. We made eye contact. She smiled and waved. I nodded back. That was it. No drama, no attempting to restart a conversation. It felt normal, like seeing an old coworker or something. Work has been going really well. I got promoted to senior engineer in October, which came with a nice salary bump. Having my own place and not constantly worrying about relationship drama has done wonders for my focus. My manager said I seem more confident in meetings lately. Funny how not being told you're inadequate all the time will do that. As for Madison, since everyone always asks, we're still friends. Good friends. She helped me move into my new place and we still hang out regularly. There's potential there maybe, but we're both taking things slow. She's seen me at my lowest and never tried to fix me or manage my emotions. She just let me figure things out. That means something. Last weekend, we went to a Halloween party together. Nothing officially romantic, just 2 friends who happened to show up in coordinating costumes. She was a vampire. I was a vampire hunter, her idea, and it was actually pretty funny. At one point, this guy asked if we were dating, and before I could answer, Madison said, "Nope, just friends who know how to have fun without drama." And that phrase stuck with me. Fun without drama. I'd forgotten that was possible. These days, my life is pretty quiet. I work, I hang out with friends, I'm learning to cook better. Madison's been teaching me. I'm reading more. I bought a plant for my apartment that I haven't killed yet. It's not the most exciting life by Tyler standards, but it's mine and I like it. Sometimes people ask if I ever think about reaching out to Brooke, especially now that enough time has passed for things to cool down. The answer is no. Not because I'm angry, I'm not anymore, but because I genuinely don't miss what we had. I miss what I thought we had, but that was mostly in my head anyway. What I have now is better. Peace, self-respect, and the knowledge that I don't have to earn someone's love by changing who I am. This will probably be my last update unless something major happens, which I doubt it will. Thanks to everyone who gave advice and support over these past months. This community helped me through a difficult time, and I'm grateful.